Good morning, folks. I want to welcome you to Veterans Home in Menlo Park for 2025 Veterans Day. Before we start, I'd like everyone to please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Salute or hand over the heart.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
And to the
Republic.
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, for liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Al.
Have a great day.
Now, before we start, I'd like to ask Assemblyman Robert Karabinchak to please come up, say a few words.
Hello, everyone. I'm State Assemblyman Rob Karabinchak. And from the great state of New Jersey, we want to thank all of our veterans today, all the men and women who've sacrificed parts of their lives, their families, and all of the dedication that they've done for this great country of ours. So thank you so much. With that, have a great day.
Thanks, sir. Our next speaker is the Mayor Sandiosi, please.
Good morning and happy Veterans Day. You know, every day really should be Veterans Day because of all the selfless sacrifices that every single one of you and your families have made to our country. We would not be here, we would not have the services that we have, we would not have the freedom that we have if it were not for all of you who dedicate and committed your lives to this country. I'm immensely grateful for this, as well as on behalf of Edison Township, all of us are. I also want to recognize some of the other elected officials that are here as well, beginning with our former mayor, Mayor Rosigliano, standing with our Board of Education member, Joe Romano, Councilman Richard Brescher, my current Chief of Staff, and our former Council member, Council President Bob Deal. I don't think I'm missing anyone else. But again, I just want to thank everyone for coming out today. This is very important that we always make sure that we have these type of ceremonies, especially on Veterans Day or Memorial Day, making sure that we recognize those who have served our country and given us all that we've had. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to start ceremonies here. On this day, Veterans Day, we commemorate the services of veterans of all wars. Remember how men, women set aside their civilian pursuits to serve their nation's causes, defending the freedom of mankind and preserving our precious American heritage. We believe our strength on the battlefield, on the supply line which nourished our armed might, lay in justice of causes against the forces of evil. We believe our determination made us better warriors because we fought with our mind, our hearts, as well as our bodies. We recognize service to our country and her cause does not end with termination of military service. We continue our endeavors on behalf of our honorable world peace with a feeling of pride, gratified to God, and the men and women who gave their lives at the cost of this noble cause. Out of blood, sweat, we learn the purpose, sacrifice, tolerance, bravery, and discipline. These are solid foundation stones upon which this great nation is built. Let's remember with bowed heads all the veterans, both living and deceased, that have given us this freedom to be here today. Gary, please. Captain. Uncover.
Uncover. Lord God, Almighty Father, creator of mankind and author of peace, as we ever are mindful of the cost paid for the liberty we possess, we ask you to bless the members of our armed forces and veterans. Give them courage, hope, and strength. May they never experience your firm support, gentle love, and compassionate healing. Be their power and protector, leading them from darkness to light. To you be all glory, honor, and praise, now and forever. Amen.
Amen.
Cover. Hey, kiddo.
Please place the wreaths. Yeah, that's all. Private squad. Oh.
Dad, watch out.
Yeah, you
Whoop.
gonna get through?
I'm sorry.
Okay.
One here? Yeah. That's good. Oh, shut up. All right, now we're gonna play. Do it. Where's the play? We don't have a bugler here, so I'm trying to get it on my phone. Michelle, hold on. Oh. Two. Thank you. Our next stop is going to be Town Hall. Please have your headlights and four-way flashes on. We are having a police escort. Thank you.
Thank you for coming out to our annual ceremony on Veterans Day. On both Memorial Day and Veterans Day, we recognize those who have served our country by dedicating the streets to them. One thing that was slightly different from what we've done was, instead of driving around the town, we were only able to get a few streets at a time. And previously, what we started doing now is hosting it right here at council chambers, so a lot more families can be recognized, and they can have the honor of seeing it as they pass by. With that, I'd ask you to please rise for the presentation of the colors. The presentation of the colors is presented by the Edison Police Department and Edison Fire Honor Guard. Please remain standing. I'd like to call up Ryan Schreck, Quartermaster from Edison VFW Post 3117 for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Order. Arms! I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Two. Please give another round of applause to Amanda. How wonderful is that? You may be seated. Good morning, everyone, and thank you for coming out once again, as I say, for our annual Veterans Day Street Dedication Ceremony. For those of you who may not be aware, Edison Township has had such tremendous history with veterans and our military personnel and those who have served our country over the past couple hundred years. These fun facts are embedded in our history, and we must always recognize where we've come from so that we know where we're going. That's part of the reason why we revived a lot of the efforts that we've done, especially with our historical society, making sure that folks such as yourselves, those who have served, as well as the families, get recognized in Edison Township. You know, Edison Township played a major role in so many of our wars, especially the further you go back, the more you dig up our history. It's just fascinating to see this history. But again, it's not just the individual who served, but it's also those family members and the sacrifices that they made with their loved ones who were separated at different times. As Edison Township continues to grow in so many different ways, and it will continue to, it's just inevitable, we always want to make sure that the people who served our country and the reason why we are here, the reason why we have the freedoms that we have, the reason that we enjoy everything that we do, always gets recognized and appreciated. I do want to recognize some of the elected officials that are also in the room before we continue, beginning with our former mayor, Mayor Sigliano is here. Our State Assemblyman, Robert Karabinchak. Our council member, Richard Brescher. Our school board member, Joe Romano's in the back. And our former council president and my chief of staff, Bob Deal. We also have our police and fire chief here, Police Tom Brine. Fire Chief Andy Toth, and our Business Administrator Sonia Alves. And we will now continue the ceremony with the acceptance of Edison Township Veteran Vietnam War Casualty Memorial Plaque donated by Kevin Slaver.
Kevin Slaver, who is in here, he came to the VFW, and he also came, I believe, went to the American Legion, and felt that the town needed to recognize all the Vietnam people from Edison that died in Vietnam. He took it upon himself to do all the research and actually had a plaque made that he designed, he paid for, and now turning over to the township of Edison, where I'm sure the mayor will find a spot that everybody can come and actually read it. The names on the plaque: Sergeant Gooding, Second Lieutenant Micka, Private First Class Meeker, Corporal Jackson, Lance Corporal Short, Private First Class Polvakak, Specialist Fourth Class Carl Sonderato, Captain Mayerick, HM3 Tamagani, and Private First Class James. Mayor, on behalf of Kevin Slaver, I'd like to donate. If anybody would like our seats right up front. Before we do the presentations, the mayor starts the presentations of the street sign. I spoke with Bob Deal. Some people don't understand what we do with the street signs, so I'm going to explain it very quickly. The committee consists of a few veterans and Bob Deal liaison, Mary McAvoy, but it's how we design the signs. First, the application is merely a contact paper. The DD-214 that we ask is what we get all the information for that person who is to be dedicated and honored. They must have an honorable discharge from the military. Once we have that, we put their actual rank and MOS or rate, depending on their service. Navy calls it rate, the other services call it MOS, it's their actual job. We then put the name which is on the DD-214, their official name that the military recognized them under. We know veterans have nicknames, but the street sign is to show the actual person's name. We then look at the time frame that they were in the military and add the conflict of war that was going on at that point. We understand some people came to me and said, I wasn't in Vietnam, but you did everything you could to support it. So that's the conflict they were under. We understand that they would have loved to gone, well, not loved, but would have gone, but the military tells you where to go, you don't tell them. So we want to make sure people understood what they supported during their time in. We then look at the DD-214 and take the two highest awards that are on it, and we add that to it. Unfortunately, not everybody has two awards. That's why you're going to see one that only has one. But we do our best to put the highest ranking awards that they got. And that's how the street signs become what you now see out there all over town. I hope everybody likes the way we do it. We took our time with these, myself and the other vets, and we felt this was the best way to honor all our vets in the town. Thank you.
I'd like to call up the family of Corporal Dr. Thomas Paterniti. I have to, before we dedicate this street sign, I just want to point out that I think many of us here, including myself, had known Dr. Paterniti for a very long time. He was someone who I very much admired. I remember being in his basement while he was teaching me the ropes of government and politics. And he would share his stories about his time when he served. So it's really an honor for me to be here right now and to also see this dedication to your family.
Well, good morning to everybody. And I first want to thank the mayor and the council and Brian Streck, the administration, Bob Deal, for continuing this tradition of dedicating streets throughout our town for our veterans who serve. When Peter Barnes was on the council in 1996, he came up with this idea to help, to recognize our veterans in our community, so they can ever have an everlasting spot, on where their street where they either grew up or they still live in today. And he put me on that committee when he first organized it. So we want to come up with who can we dedicate a street to. So I talked to my wife and I says, well, George Red Ellis. George Red Ellis was a World War II veteran. He lived on Michael Road. He served in the Battle of the Bulge. When he was fighting, he was captured by the Germans, spent 9 months at a POW camp, escaped, was recaptured by the Germans and escaped the second time. So, and he's the only one that has a real street sign on it that says George Red Ellis Road. And it's on 3 different intersections. It's on Michael Road and Old Post Road, Michael and Idlewater Road, and Michael and on Glenville Road. So when you go down that street, you're not on George Red Ellis Road, you're on Michael Road. But I'm sure it confuses the hell out of a lot of people. Dr. Paternitti enlisted in the U.S. Army within weeks of graduating from the Perth Amboy High School in 1946. He was only 17 years old. He served 2 years with the 7th Division, 31st Light Infantry, including 14-month tour of duty in Korea. One of his duties in the infantry was keeping watch outside in the freezing cold, and he hated the cold because of that. He stood watch for 30 days. When a position for a cook was posted, he applied and was accepted into the culinary program in Tokyo University. He enjoyed being a cook and found ways to make delicious meals for the men in his infantry. He would take tomato juice and boil it down to make spaghetti sauce. At breakfast, instead of using the powdered eggs to make scrambled eggs, he would use real eggs to cook up fresh eggs for his men. He saved the powdered eggs for baking prepared meals. He was offered a position as a cook with the officers, but chose to stay with his soldier buddies. To keep warm while sleeping in the barracks, he would line his bunk with newspapers as an insulator. He said that when he was in the infantry, when his infantry was sent over to ship in Korea, they were not prepared for the cold. The only coat he was given was a field coat, which had no liner. He received decorations and citations, the World War II Victory Medal, and the Army of Occupation Medal of Japan upon honorable discharge as an Army Corporal. He was able to attend undergraduate studies at Seton Hall University using the benefits from the GI Bill to pay for his education, studying chemistry. He then worked in the construction field to pay for his graduate studies at the University of Maryland Dental School. He carried his Carpenters Union book for 68 years. He was a dentist for over 60 years with a practice in Metunchin. In 1960, he and his wife and infant daughter moved from an apartment at Redfield Village into their first home on Remington Drive, where they would raise their 4 children. Dr. Patanini was a long and distinguished public service career as an Edison councilman, 2-term mayor, 4-term New Jersey State Assemblyman, and 1-term state senator. He authorized many bills that were signed into law for veterans, and he served on the Veterans Committee. He also served on the Senior Citizens Committee. And as a legislator, he would often talk about how many bills he had passed and put into law. He had some of the most bills passed when he was serving. He also served as Edison Democratic Municipal Chair for 31 years, and he retired from dentistry in 2015, and he died in 2017. And this building, when he was mayor the first time in 1975, he had this building built. And in 1978, when it was dedicated, Tony Ulensis was sitting in the seat, and he would often complain, I will not get to sit in the seat, but he did in 1989 when he took Tony Ulensis, who passed away, and he sat in the seat for a little bit. Thank you. Yeah, I know. I just gave you all the family numbers out.
By the way, we call him Charlie, but he is a county commissioner because he's our very own from Edison.
Thank you. Come on, Brenda. Nick. There you go. Helen, turn around. Put above the man.
I'd like to call up the family of Sergeant First Class Joseph Iluzzi, a Korean War veteran. Nice meeting you.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Dad, for your service, and God bless America. And thank all the veterans for their service as well. Yeah.
I want to thank the mayor and all the people who recognize the veterans of this country. He was right. That's why it's so great. Thank you very much.
Where's the kid? My neighbor's here.
That's fine. Whoever you want to have come up and have a picture taken with you.
Maybe she's bashing.
Okay.
Gail, when you want to come up?
Can't believe that was 71 years ago.
Fine. This is yours. Thanks for your service. Thank you. Thank you.
Next, I'd like to call up the speaker for Specialist Fifth Class. I'm going to, Abbott Marco. Okay, got it.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Ruggiero Batamarco as well. It's my brother, Jason. I'd like to take an opportunity to express my gratitude and congratulate the veterans receiving this amazing honor that Edison has bestowed upon them. Included within that group is my father, Ruggiero Batamarco, the patriarch of our family. My father was 20 years old when he was drafted in June of 1966 and spent his basic training in Fort Dix, New Jersey. After completing that, his next step was advanced training in Fort Belvoir, Virginia. ultimately being deployed to Vietnam in January of 1967. My father's first stop in Vietnam was Long Ben. Next up was being sent north to Quy Nhon and Pleiku, where he served with the 41st Signal Battalion. After completing his military service for our country, he returned home to the U.S. and was stationed in Fort Campbell, Kentucky, until he was discharged in 1968. After returning home, he met his beautiful wife, Elizabeth, my mother. Our parents were married in 1972, moving to their forever home in Edison on Monahan Road in 1975. My parents have built an amazing family, 2 sons, Jason, myself, 2 daughter-in-laws, Christine and Angela, and 6 grandchildren, Rebecca, Aurora, Ruggiero, Brendan, Luciana, and Connor. Dad, from the bottom of our hearts, we all want to let you know how proud we are of you and how much this honor means to this family. Our family will forever now drive by this street we grew up on and see our family name honoring your service. We love you. Abbott Marcos, come on up.
They're all in bad Marcos. The date. One more.
Oh, come from the front.
Oh.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Next, we have another Vietnam War veteran, Airman William H. Bannister.
Thank you to all of the veterans, and thank you, Daddy. William H. Bannister was born on May 16, 1944, and grew up in Brooklyn, New York. In February 1963, he joined the United States Navy and was stationed on the USS Independence CVA 62. He went on 3 Mediterranean tours, as well as being in Cuba. He also spent a year in Vietnam. He received an honorable discharge. On June 1st, 1968, he married my beautiful mom, Karen DeLito. He had 4 children named Victoria, which is myself, Catherine, in memory, William Jr., my brother, and Antoinette, my baby sister. He has 8 grandchildren named Amanda, Joseph, Michael, Madison, Riley, William III, Morgan, and Gianna. He also has 3 great-grandchildren. In 1974, he moved to Oakland Avenue, Edison, New Jersey, and that is where he still resides and lives there today. Daddy, we are very proud of you, and we love you.
Next, we have another Vietnam War veteran, Specialist 5th Class, Ralph Corno Jr.
Thank you so very much to all of the veterans. We would not be free if it weren't for their service. Let me introduce you to Ralph Corno Jr. Ralph joined the Army, not by choice, in July 1968 and trained at Fort Jackson, South Carolina. Finished his other training and then went off to Vietnam, where he served from January 15, 1969 through January 17, 1970. Then he went to Fort Hood to finish his active duty time, and then he returned home to his family and his job as a truck driver. In 1978, the company relocated from New York into New Jersey. And after the bad snowstorm in 1978, many of us remember it, he decided he'd move his family closer for the commute. They first settled in Secaucus for about 18 months, and then we purchased our home in Edison, and we settled here, and because it had great schools and a wonderful environment to raise children, which it still does, and we still live here. Ralph has always believed in voluntary service and has been the state commander of the VFW in 1997 to 98, and he served as district commander for over 14 terms. He also served as the Supreme Commander, which is the national commander of the honor degree of the Military Order of the Cootie from 2007-2008. Ralph is still serving as Adjutant Quartermaster of the DAV Chapter 5 and is also a life member of the Vietnam Veterans of America and also a 55-year member of the American Legion. So as you can tell, he likes service. Ralph has lived and instilled service before self to each of his children, and because of his example, they have all been involved in volunteering either as scout leaders, cheer coaches, or in veteran service organizations. Ralph now enjoys camping, cruising, and spending time with his great-grandchildren, especially the youngest one, Olivia, who's 2 years old. Sunday is family day for the Corno family, and if you're within 50 miles of Edison, you're expected at Sunday dinner, where we talk about what's happening with them, if they're in school, how it's going, how their career is going, any help they need, anything that we can do to help them. Lastly, the entire Corno family would like to thank the mayor and Edison for this honor to all our veterans. Thank you.
Thank you all, guys. Welcome home.
Another Vietnam War veteran, Sergeant Frank J. Fritz.
You can come up. Come on, Grandpa. He's shy.
The stage is yours.
Well, yes. Well, you'll have to come up eventually. So I actually have a secret that everyone needs to keep, but I came home today, or I came home last night to be here for this ceremony to see this plaque on the street where I grew up, on Crowell's Road. But a secret, Mr. Mayor, that you can't tell anyone is that the plaque is actually in Highland Park. It's on the Highland Park side of the line. But if no one promises to tell, I won't tell anyone either, all right? Thank you. Frank Joseph Fritz, a few months after his 17th birthday, found himself in a U.S. Army infantry unit standing in the hot Korean summer sun a few kilometers south of the Korean demilitarized zone. The demilitarized zone, known to all in the Army as the DMZ, had been the United Nations negotiated line of demarcation between North and South Korea, two countries that are still at war legally in a state of war till this day. Frank's journey to this point began with his birth on March 12, 1947, and his induction into the U.S. Army on March 12, 1964. Frank did his basic training and advanced infantry training with a heavy weapons specialty at Fort Dix, New Jersey. Then Frank received his orders for Korea. Arriving in Korea, Frank was assigned to Company B, 2nd Battalion, 5th Cavalry, 1st Cavalry Division, a famous Army division fighting force dating back to the mid-19th century of this country. During his tour of duty, Frank received letters of commendation from his unit commander, and Frank's next station was in Mannheim, Germany, where he was assigned to the 2nd Battalion, 3rd Infantry Regiment of the 8th Division. It was during this second tour of duty that Frank was promoted to the rank of E5 Sergeant. Frank accrued additional military citations, including Soldier of the Month. Frank's military career ended with his dishonorable discharge at Fort Hamilton, New York on March 1st, 1960. Honorable, for the record, honorable. Reading way too fast. All right, had to get that one in, Grandpa. Honorable. Yeah, honorable, everyone. Thank you. When he, at the age of 19. So he joined the Army at the age of 16 and left at the age of 19. He wanted me to say that he was not old enough to drink, not old yet to vote, but he was old enough to serve his country. And he also has served our family very well. I also share his name, so it was very cool to see our shared name, Frank Fritz, on my home street. And for the record, it was an honorable discharge, in case anyone was unclear. Thank you so much, Grandpa. I love you so much. He stays active in his VFW and is a Deputy Grand Knight in the Knights of Columbus. So thank you, Grandpa. And thank you, everyone, for being here.
Dishonorable. Catholic education. Thank you, everybody. Oh, here we go. The unveiling. I want to thank everybody. I thank the people of Edison, Robert Deal, Mayor, Chief, everybody. Thank you so much. And I also like to share this with the people that aren't here. You know who I mean. I and my other comrades stand on their shoulders, as do we all. Again, thank you so much.
As the previous speaker mentioned, please don't share. As we encroach on other territories, we may or may not be moving to take over some. Construction electrician, 3rd class Harold R. Clauser, another Vietnam War veteran.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here. I thank all the officials in Edison Township and the veterans that put this together, and thank all of our veterans for their service. My name is Peter Klauser. I'm the proud son of Harold Klauser, who served during the Vietnam War. Harold was in the Seabees. First, he was drafted by the military, but was rejected as a result of his physical. He went and learned a trade as an electrician, and a few years later volunteered for the Navy, and specifically the Seabees, the construction arm of the Navy. And with a skill to offer the United States government, he passed his physical. During his term of service was from July of 1970 through December of 1972. I think I have that right. It was a 30-month enlistment period. He was in Mississippi, California, Okinawa, Thailand, and most importantly served in country in Vietnam in a war zone. When my dad finished his service, he was honorably discharged, and he came home to 11 Weldon Road, which is where he lived and still lives today. That is where I grew up. He began his own business as an electrical contractor in Edison. He hired his brother, also a Navy man, Teddy, and they worked together. My dad married the right woman, my beautiful mother, Catherine, and raised two children, my sister, Kelly, and myself. My sister, Kelly, followed in her dad's footsteps, and she's a hairdresser and runs her own salon in Milltown. I went to law school and became an attorney. I graduated from Seton Hall with honors, and he has 4 grandchildren, Cameron, Jack, Madeline, and Luke. Cameron and Jack are my sister's kids, and Madeline and Luke are mine. Cameron is a teacher. She has a specialist in special ed. Jack, following after the old man, works with his hands, and he's an HVAC technician with Trane, and he is studying at Votech in East Brunswick, where Harold went and studied and got his license, as he worked during the day and studied at night. Madeline is in high school, my daughter, all honors classes, all A's. Luke is in middle school and is also doing very well. And I tell you all of those things not to brag about our family, but I know how proud my dad is of all of us, and he wants you all to know that. So Dad, thank you for your service. We love you. Thank all the veterans for their service. We're very proud of you. Can you come over here? Come over here. Come on over so they can get a picture. Keep coming. All right, now turn around. Squeeze in.
Another Vietnam War veteran, Lieutenant Alan S.J. Mazzaros.
This is my brother. I'm here to introduce my baby brother that was a pilot in Vietnam, a lieutenant. He went to Edison High School. I didn't have too much to say about him, but I am so proud of his service. It was the the only land-based Navy squadron in the Vietnam War. And back then, he had all those, every time he flew to do his mission, 360 times he did it. And I'm so proud of my little brother. That's all I can say. You know, so.
I'm Alan Mazaris. This is my big brother Mel. He's coming up later, so I wanted to make sure that he came together with me.
I was in the Marine Corps, he was in the Navy. We still get along. That's right. So
first one in, last one out.
And one thing growing up in Edison, I am so lucky. I was blessed. Not only the history that we were discussing about the Revolutionary War. I grew up in Clara Barton, and I used to always say how blessed I am. They named the school. I went to the same school for 10 years. Back then, they didn't have a high school. Edison didn't have a high school, and it depended on where you lived. I went to Perth Amboy. I graduated in 1958. My baby brother and
Rosie went to Perth Amboy.
Yeah, Rosie, my sister, and my other brother, John. My sister went to Perth Amboy.
John went to Edison.
John went to Edison with Alan.
Yeah.
He's always educated me, even though he's my baby brother. Okay. The thing I'll just say, I'm not a very good talker, but
Go ahead.
okay. The thing about today is Veterans Day, and everybody knows that in 1813, Francis Scott Key wrote a poem. It was our national anthem. It was sung at a lot of events and stuff. A lot of people aren't aware that there was 4 verses. All right? Especially today. I changed a couple of words. I'm sure Francis Scott Key ain't gonna mind that I changed the 4th verse, especially for this day. Listen carefully. Oh, thus be it ever, when veterans shall stand between their loved homes and the war's desolation. Blessed with victory and peace, may the heaven-rescued land praise the veterans that have made and protected us a nation. Then conquer we must, when our cause it is just, and this be our motto, in God is our trust. And then the Star-Spangled Banner in triumph shall wave over the land of the free because of the brave. God bless America.
I have one other thing to say. This is why, our family, I had a big brother to watch after me. Plus I had a big brother that I would learn from him. What his mistakes were, I made sure I didn't do it again. So, God bless all the service people, plus all the service people that didn't come back. God bless them all. I'd like to say, can I say one more thing? I'd like to say one more thing. I brought this book just to recognize the 6 of the pilots that didn't come home. So, this is the Flying Black Ponies. They have a book. Anybody who wants to learn something about the Navy, pilots, read the book. Flying Black Ponies.
Do I have any family members to come up?
Oh, yeah, one fellow down there.
Poodles.
This is Mel's. Right.
Well, make sure we get the right one over here. He outranks you.
I just want to let you people know that Mel Mazzaro has been a member of Clara Barton American Legion for 47 years, and I have no idea how long he's been with the John Barcelona Marine Detachment. How long have you been with the Marines, man?
I just got reelected.
Oh, he's a lifer. Thank you.
Those are the kind of stories, especially with families and brothers that I was talking about, that everyone really should know about. So thank you for your service. Calling up Sergeant Walter G. Ulrich. Vietnam War.
Hello, everybody. For as long as I can remember, my dad has been my hero. His strength and level-headedness has always guided me through life. I'm sure my brothers would both agree. Born and raised and still residing in Edison on the corner of Grove and New Dover, my father graduated the second class of J.P. Stevens, married my mother, and enlisted in the Air Force. As soon as they married, my father was sent to Thailand, where he remained for an entire year working as a jet engine mechanic. Upon return, they spent the next 3 years in Texas. After his 4 years of service, he attended the School of Aeronautics at Teterboro. For 30 years, he ran a successful business in Metuchen, while also being an Edison firefighter, which he retired after 32 years as a battalion chief. Thank you, Dad, and all of the veterans for making America the great country that it is.
Thank you, Dad. I love you.
Another Vietnam War veteran specialist, 4th class, Lewis R. White.
Yeah, I just like to thank the people of Edison, and you know, I'm proud that I served the country, and I'm also proud of Edison Township to acknowledge the veterans, and some things live forever, and this will always remember. This will always be in my heart, and I'm proud to be here.
I'd like to thank everybody too.
real quick. Louis, as we call him Louis, he's our 7-Eleven crew. He's South Side.
Moving on from Vietnam War veterans, we have those who have served under Operation Enduring Freedom. Sergeant First Class Jonathan W. Sydenham.
So, good morning, everyone. It is my honor to be here with all of you today and all these great veterans speaking about Jonathan Herc Sudan. Herc was born and raised right here in Edison. He joined the Army in 1984 and served with the 101st Airborne and deployed both in Egypt and Panama. Upon his discharge from the military, he began his pursuit of a college degree and married his wife for 34 years, Joanne. She's right there. And at the beginning of his career as a policeman in Manalapan Department Township, Herc and Joanne were blessed with two wonderful sons, Maddie and Bobby. They're right there over there today, too. In 1991, Herc joined the New Jersey Army National Guard, reporting for his weekend and annual training assignments without any incident for over 10 years. But on September 11th, 2001, that all unfortunately changed. Soon after the terrorist attack on New York City and our country, Herc was sent to Ground Zero in Manhattan, and soon after that, Fresh Kills Landfill in Staten Island, where debris and investigations were taking place. Early in 2002, Herc received deployment orders from the state of New Jersey to assist in guarding the bridges and tunnels that enter New York City. Herc was assigned to and served as a ship supervisor at the Holland Tunnel. In 2003, Herc received federal mobilization orders, embarking on what turned out to be a 2-year deployment on base security assignment at Fort Devens, Massachusetts. Upon being released from active duty in 2005, Herc returned to his normal duties as a policeman, SWAT team member, and school resource officer in Manalapan High School. Then in early 2007, Herc received pre-mobilization orders regarding an imminent 1-year deployment to Afghanistan. Herc was then sent to Fort Riley, Kansas, and trained for a period of a few months as part of an elite 16-man entrenched training team. This team would ultimately represent New Jersey on active duty as part of the United States Army. Herc and his teammates arrived in the Middle East mid-December. He reported to his first unit of assignment in Herat, Afghanistan on Christmas Day, 2007. While deployed, Herc traveled throughout the country of Afghanistan, serving as a mentor to Afghan National Police and instructor at the Afghan National Police Academy. After completing his duties overseas, Herc was nominated for the Bronze Star and awarded with both the Combat Infantryman Badge and his 4th Army Achievement Medal. Upon completing 20 years of service, Herc retired from the Army National Guard in 2009 and then retired from Manalapan Police Department in 2010. You know, I've known Herc for almost 40 years. He's not only my brother-in-law, he's my brother. He's a war hero, and I love him and his family very much. So I want to just say one more thing. I am honored to be here with all of you. God bless our veterans, not just today, Veterans Day, but every day, and God bless the United States of America. Thank you very much.
I guess I'm supposed to say something.
Thanks to Edison, I think this is a wonderful honor, and in particular for me, I can't tell you how proud I am. My mother was a Monahan, so I am now the third one in my family to get a street sign, so thank you very much.
You mentioned that this was his third street sign. Just goes to show you about what I was saying earlier about how deep our history is and how wonderful it is that so many families are able to come together for this ceremony as well. Our peacetime veteran, Seaman Richard J. Lord.
Thank you, Richie. I'm actually one of Richie's neighbors, and he actually chose me. Thank you for giving a speech for you. Many of us think about safety, location, schools, and taxes before choosing a neighborhood for a forever home. Once you find a perfect home, you pray you find a perfect home, and you pray for amazing neighbors. You pray that they are respectful, that they're caring individuals. You hope that you have people who will look out for you like family. Well, on Lynn Court, we're truly blessed. 8 years ago, when we first arrived in Edison, we were greeted with the warmest smile. Richard Lord, who many know as Richie, was one of the first in our neighborhood to welcome us. From day one, we felt the love. He lights up everyone's face on the court when we see him. He has brought all of us together. We call him the grandpa of the court. My boys love running up to him, giving him big hugs. They look forward to the Richie bread. They say it's the best banana bread they ever had. We love when he shares the stories of his lovely late wife and his family, and his 1956 Thanksgiving Day Navy story. He continues to share his wisdom, his love through mentoring and sponsorship. We are truly blessed to have him. He's such an amazing neighbor, the grandpa of the court. The amount of love and care he gives to each and every one of us is indescribable. We love and admire you, Richie. We're so proud of you. Thank you for blessing Lynn Court for 53 years. Thank you for your service and sacrifice, and thank you for continuing to support us. Congratulations, Richie, on your street dedication sign.
Thank you. If I could say anything, my neighbors on Lynn Court are the best. You know, they watch out for each other. You know, we had a little Halloween thing at my neighbor Timmy's place, and it was just great. You know, the whole street was never in the past decorated, but this year it was decorated by two houses, and people, instead of walking by the court, came in. It was a great time. We had a little picnic. It was really great. And, you know, I thank you for being here, and, you know, the service I had was in peacetime. But this ship here in World War II was a ship that wouldn't die. They lost 3/4 of their crew, and officers and crew, and they kept it floating. And that, you know, they were attacked by Japanese kamikazes, and that's what you know, why they lost 3/4 of the crew. And I got on it after they, you know, years after. I was only 4 years old maybe when that happened, you know. But they refurbished it, and I was on it temporarily, but it was a great experience, you know. Thanks for everything. Thanks for being here. Thank you.
I'm gonna look the video up. Yeah.
Thank you to all the families. Congratulations to all the veterans having their streets dedicated, and it's our pleasure as a township to honor them. We have a Veterans Day poem. Thank you for your sacrifice. You gave your strength, your youth, and time. You did a job not many will. You deserved our respect, and you do still. Though you didn't give your life, you were a willing soul. Only your brothers in combat, your suffering truly know. We love that you are here with us and honor who you are. A grateful nation appreciates every single scar that wrote upon the slate of you. Though you were very brave, you came back to us a hero, and you are not quite the same. For you have learned to bear the weight of defending freedom's call. But you did come back, and that is what we give thanks for most of all. May God bless all of our American veterans.
Thank you. We're almost done with our ceremony, but once again, I just want to thank everyone for coming out here. I want to recognize the committee. We get hundreds of applications for this, and like I said, previously we were only able to get to a few a year. I wanted to make sure that we switch that up, and we're able to get to, there's been 1 year where we did actually 17 families that were recognized. Consistently more than 10 though. If all the members of the committee could just stand up, be recognized. Thank you. Like I said, we get hundreds of applications, and while I can't physically go through every single one of them myself, it's all of these guys that do, and they pick out the best ones that just make the most sense. We want to get to as many as we can, so if there are friends, neighbors, family members that still have yet to be recognized, please reach out, fill out the application form. We're trying to get to as many as we can because each and every single one of you deserve it. Once again, thank you. God bless America. For all of you who served, once again, thank you so much. And with that, the playing of taps by Gavin Kaspersky from the Edison Fire Department. Big round of applause to Bob Miguelo for playing our bagpipes. This concludes our ceremony. Thank you and happy Veterans Day.
Good morning, everyone. My name's Brian Schreck. I'm the quartermaster for VFW 3117 and also the quartermaster for District 8 of New Jersey. District 8 incumbents all of Middlesex County. I'd like to thank you all for coming this morning to Veterans Park. A lot of you were just at our street sign dedication at Town Hall, and now we're going to do our ceremony of laying a wreath in front of all our services flags. First, I'd like to introduce some dignitaries. Bob Karabinchek. We have out by the street, Bob Deal, Fire Chief Andy Toth, Deputy Chief Dudash, Councilman Rich Brescher hiding. But I just want to thank, Chief Tommy Bryant. But I'd like just to thank everybody for coming. At this point, I'm going to read a poem, and as we edited the poem to make it fit this program. It is the soldier, not the minister, who has given us freedom of religion. It is the airman, not the reporter, who gives us freedom of the press. It is the sailor, not the poet, who has given us freedom of speech. It is the Marine, not the lawyer, who has given us the right to a fair trial. It is the Coastie, not the campus organizer, who has given us freedom to protest. It is the military, not the politician, who has given us the right to vote. It is the servicemen and women who salute the flag, who serve beneath the flag, and whose coffin is draped by the flag, who allow protesters to burn the flag. At this time, I'd like to, if any of the distinguished guests would like to say anything.
Thank you. I'm State Assemblyman Rob Karabanchak, and I'm here on behalf of the great state of New Jersey. It's an honor to be here and to thank all of our men and women in the military services for their dedication and their services for what they've done for this great country, the United States of America. Words can't describe how much we owe you. Every day we get up with the amount of the freedoms that we have every single day is because of you and your dedication and services. With that, all I could do is ask everyone who knows a veteran to thank them. Personally go up and thank them for their service and what they have done for you. So God bless you and your families, and God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
Anybody else like to come up? County Commissioner Charlie Tamara.
Thank you, Brian, and still morning? Yeah, good morning, everybody. And of course, as Rob just said, we want to thank all our veterans for what they've done and how they served this great country. But this year, I get the feedback. This year we lost a great veteran. That was George Red Ellis, who passed away. So, and as I said at the street dedication, he's a World War II veteran that fought in the Battle of Bulge, was captured by the Germans, escaped, spent 9 months in POW camp, escaped, recaptured by the Germans, and escaped the second time. And no greater veteran than George. And he really loved this country and loved this town. And we want to remember him today and his memory. Thank you.
I want to recognize woman coming up, former Mayor Tony Rosigliano. For those who may not know, Tony is the one, when she was mayor during her term, took it to the council and the people to turn this park into the Veterans Park. And what you see today is what she was able to accomplish. And I want to let her know that myself, Dave Tingle, are working with Rich Brescher and a few other vets to modernize this park. We're working on it. And I'm hoping next year at this point, we'll have everything done that we're looking for. But you're the one who started this. And I'd like to say a few words.
Thank you. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. I really didn't intend to say anything, but thank you so much. I do treasure this park, this Veterans Park. But I saw something while standing there on Stony Road. A truck driver stopped his truck and put his flashes on, got out of his truck, and while the taps were being played, he saluted. And after it was done, he got back on his truck and he went back to work. So this is what veterans mean to our country, and you are the lifeblood of America. Thank you so much. God bless.
Thank you. Now joining us, Mayor Sam Yoshi.
Hello, everyone. Happy Veterans Day. Just want to reiterate that we had an outstanding and beautiful ceremony. We were able to recognize so many veterans in our community. That's what builds our community, recognizing them, because they built not just this country, but this town as well. And this town has so much history. I thank Mayor Rosigliano for being here today. She was a huge part who spearheaded and led this park from being built. And I'm very glad that we were able to have this ceremony here every single day. Again, God bless America. Thank you all.
Would anybody else like to speak? Okay. One last thing, if everybody can turn around. We have a wreath that we do lay It goes in front of the sign for the Veterans Park. It was donated, the parts of it were donated by the United Auto Workers when they had their headquarters here in Edison, when the Ford plant, I believe their union headquarters was still here. So we'd like to honor them as well, because a lot of their people may not have been veterans, but the Ford plant did a lot for the military when we were overseas doing things with our vehicles and other things that they helped build, and they built America. So I'd like to everybody watch as the wreath is placed at the front of the park in honor of the United Auto Workers. Thank you. That concludes our ceremony. I would just like to everybody know at the American Legion on Jefferson Boulevard, they'll be open for refreshments. Is that correct? And also on National Road, the VFW will also be serving refreshments. If anybody would like to come and join either or stop at both, you're more than welcome. Thank you, and happy Veterans Day.